Ta-da! A few days ago, I visited Angkan Coffee Company. We had a meeting for a secret project coming up soon. I noticed something on the shelves. Ah? So, this is actually a cold brew maker. You know, I've made a couple of videos in the past of how you can make your own cold brew at home. This thing actually is specifically made for a cold brew. The product is Time More, but it is actually branded with Angkan Coffee Company. They sell it in their stores for only 2,000 pesos. I think it's a really nice addition to your brewers, right? So today we're gonna open the Angkan Coffee Company Cold Brewer, right? So, of course, if it's Time More, it has a really nice packaging. Again, foam paddings. Oh. And there's another foam padding under. Let's put this aside. And here is the cold brewer. Ah, it looks really nice. Especially with the red logo of Angkan, no? Because it has a really nice contrast. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, so when you open this top part, you have access for pouring inside. Okay, so and then when you open this, this is actually where you put your coffee grounds. It's a fine mesh containment for your coffee grounds. Diba? Okay, and then you can actually take this out. Put it there. And here is how you access the containment. So there is a seal over here. There. And then you put your coffee grounds there. Yeah. And then this seal is also with fine mesh so that you don't need to you don't really need to remove this part in order for you to pour out your cold brew. Diba? Oh, nice. There is actually an instruction manual. Okay, I want to read it first before we start using this. Okay, it shows exactly how to assemble and disassemble the thing. And yeah, I really like it. I really like because this is a dedicated equipment for cold brew. And I like doing cold brews just because they taste really good. And I normally do a cold brew for my cold coffee. There is a tip here. The recommended ratio of coffee and water is 1:12 for natural or honey processing coffee beans. Okay, so if you remember some of my cold brew recipes, I normally go for 1:6, but we're gonna follow the recipe of Time More before I do my own recipe. Alright, so I want to do 50 grams of coffee. Oh, actually, here on the fine mesh filter, there is a writing of 60 grams, 50 grams, 40 grams, and 30 grams. Wow! Let's see if that actually equates to the line here. There is a line. There is a metric here also. So actually, I'm not sure about the Oh, maybe this is 300 ml, 400 and 500 ml. Let's see. Because the bottle has 3 dots, 4 dots, and 5 dots. So, oh, there it is. Yeah, tama. So the lines, the dots here represents 300 ml, 400 ml, and 500 ml. There. Okay, so I want to make 500 ml. If we try to follow the recipe, 500 ml divided by 12, that is 40 grams. Let's for today's coffee, we're gonna use the coffee beans from Burnt Manila. I'm gonna use the Fellow Opus at 11 clicks. Okay, so I have here 40 grams of the Burnt Manila blend. Okay, before we do that, the instruction manual said to put 500 ml in the bottle first. Okay. So I'm gonna use a regular bottled water. Okay, now we're gonna see if the dots is actually 500 ml. Not quite. Pero kulang din. Mali yung graduation nito. Okay. Buti na lang, it's a good thing that I used the scale. Okay. Okay, that's 500. Sakto nga siya. Good job, Timor. I don't know how am I gonna put the coffee grounds in this because it's quite small. Oh, medyo maliit siya. Maybe we... Ooh! Okay, so we're gonna use a V60 to funnel the... We're gonna use a V60 to funnel the coffee grounds. That's all of it. So now we're gonna close this part. This is the seal for the filter, for the fine mesh filter. And then this is the lid. We're gonna put it here. Pero ba't parang tabingi? Baka mali yung kabit ko Okay. Nag-color na kaagad. Okay, and then we're gonna put the top lid. We're gonna put this in the fridge. And then we're gonna open after 24 hours. So we're gonna steep this inside the fridge for 24 hours. And then tomorrow, we're gonna brew. We're gonna make some iced coffee drink. It's a lot more convenient than what I'm doing in the past. It's a lot more convenient gear for your cold brew. It's easier. It's easier to do for sure. But I imagine it's gonna be a hard... the cleaning will be a lot harder as compared to doing it in an AeroPress, but we'll see. But for me, it's a lot more convenient in the serving part and the making part. But I mean, I think the cleaning will be the hardest part of this gear. For now, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna wait 24 hours to open this. In the next videos, I'm gonna show you more about coffee. Bye!